Good afternoon. My name is Arianna Piazza. In the following presentation, I will be discussing the topic of the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation's proposal to reduce equities settlement cycle from T+3 to T+2 and the lessons learned from previous settlement cycle reductions. In 1995, the first major reduction of the settlement cycle from 5 days to the current 3 days and the establishment of other clearing corporations to automate the settlement of securities were major changes that provided huge opportunities for the financial industry. According to the SEC, the reduction of the settlement cycle from 5 days to 3 days lessened the amount of money that needs to be collected at any one time and strengthened our financial markets for times of stress. This reduction was accomplished through automation and technological improvements and provided the industry with increased straight-through processing as well as reduced risk. T+3 was a monumental step forward for the industry. In 2000, the SIA, the predecessor of SIFMA, published a case on shortening the settlement cycle to T+1 in order to reduce risk and improve the efficiency of processing. At the time, this would save the securities industry $2.7 billion annually after an $8 billion investment. In 2002, the SIA stated that it would not endorse the reduction in U.S. securities settlement cycle from 3 days to 1 day by 2005 because it would have forced complete modernization of securities processing activities, which was too complex, would be too expensive, and would be a long-term project that the firms in the industry were not ready to take on. Since then, there have been technological improvements by both the DTCC and industry, such as real-time processing for trade capture, same-day settlement capability, and adoption of financial information exchange. These improvements, the need to reduce risk, and the awareness that much of the world has already focused on shortening the settlement time, has led industry members to demand for the United States to also reduce the settlement time to T+2. If we fast forward about 10 years to 2011, the idea of shortening the settlement cycle again comes into play. This time it is something that would be paramount to the industry and is a task that they are ready to work on. Shortening the settlement cycle further from T+3 to T+2 will help to alleviate both operational and systematic risk by reducing counterparty exposure and liquidity risk from both a clearing agency and member perspective, as well as open capital for DTCC member broker-dealers. Not only is it important to mitigate the industry risk here in the United States, but around the world. In Europe, they have already planned to move to a T+2 settlement cycle by January 2015, and much of Asia is already on a settlement cycle less than T+3. Harmonization across regions would help to better manage cash flows and reduce and simplify managing funds. In a press release issued in 2015 entitled Financial Service Industry Announces Proposed Timeline for T+2 Settlement Cycle in the U.S., it stated that the T+2 Industry Steering Committee has issued a white paper that delineated the timeline necessary to move to a T+2 settlement cycle by Q3 of 2017. The press release indicated that T+2 ISC, organized by DTCC and made up of members from across the securities industry, including SIFMA and ICI, was formed to provide oversight and guidance on the U.S. move to a shorter settlement cycle. The press release signified that in order to move to T+2 in the United States is contingent upon obtaining regulator support to amend applicable rules in a timely manner and upon successfully completing industry-wide testing during Q2 and Q3 of 2017. Therefore, it is important for all participants, industry firms, and regulators to follow the timeline and work together in order to assure that the Q3 launch of T+2 will occur. Thank you for listening.